Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of Hack Normal 2022. I hope that you really enjoyed yesterday, are rested, and really excited for today, and that you've also made sure to make use of the networking area last night. I heard that lots of you had good meetings. We will be having more of that today. So let's kickstart the program, and let me tell you a little bit more about what we're going to be doing today. So here on the inspiration stage, we will kick off the day with the United Nations Development Program introducing BOOST, which is an accelerator program for social impact and sustainability ideas. After that session, the team will be working the whole morning on their solutions. There'll be mentors there to help you out along the way. And then we will meet again at 12:15 UK time on the inspiration stage again, where we'll discuss future perspective for water with experts and industry leaders. At 1, we'll have a workshop about creating experiments for your ideas that you don't want to miss. And after that, we'll come back to the inspiration stage to watch the WWF Vattenfall and EV discuss how companies are working to solve the energy crisis. But now it's time for me to introduce the panel discussion on this social impact innovation with the representative and former winner of the BOOST program. So just for context, BOOST is an acceleration program focused on Europe and Asia, created by United Nations Development Program with a mission to tackle complex development challenges and create a more sustainable future. So let's go over to Honor, the program manager at BOOST. How are you, Honor?
Fine, Sebastian. Thank you. Thank you so much for hosting us, and happy to be a part of Hack Normal this year. I would like to, go through. We will be going through the Boost Accelerator program, and we will be giving some insights about the SDGs that we have been working with, and also we will be also hosting one of the best practices from our end from Boost. So I would like to introduce myself first. I'm Onur. I'm the current program manager in Boost. I have been working on Boost since 2020, and currently we have launched our new two challenges. I would say I will be elaborating this within the whole call, but I would like to introduce my other colleagues here with me. We have Ricard Sjöstrand, who is the current Boost lead, and as a part of the innovation team in UNDP Europe and Central Asia. And also we have Jürgen van Leuven, who is the global head of growth in Airly. So today we will be funneling our experiences around Boost, SDGs, and Airly. And I would like to give the word to Rick first, and then Jürgen maybe elaborating themselves first, and then we will be jumping to our case better. Yeah, over to you, Rick.
Yeah, thanks so much, Honor, and thank you, Sebastian. I think that was the best pitch I've ever heard for our own program. So you're welcome to come work with us on this journey. And thanks so much for inviting us, and thanks to Becco, of course, also for working with us. And so my name is Rick. I am based out of Istanbul, and I manage a project here at UNDP's Region of Europe for Europe and Central Asia, which on the one hand works to induce urban systems transformation. We work with cities and municipalities across the region to handle uncertainty through dynamic management of portfolios of options. And then on the other hand, this project is about strengthening of innovation ecosystem. It's a super exciting project that we are fortunate to do thanks to generous support from the Ministry of Finance of the Slovak Republic, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Poland, and Koç Holding, leading investment holding company in Turkey. But over to Jürgen to introduce himself.
Thank you, Ricard. Thank you, Honor, for having me here. And obviously, thank you to the Polish Challenge Fund and UNDP for your ongoing support of Airly. And Airly is a hardware-enabled software solution that allows people, businesses, governments to track air pollution. And as you will find, it's extremely important nowadays to understand what air you're breathing. And therefore, we founded a business almost 4 years ago, based out of Krakow in Poland, and now with people in London, in the States, over in Singapore. So a truly global footprint is what we're aiming for. My role is Global Head of Growth. My responsibility is to ensure that we stay true to our mission, obviously win a lot of contracts and deals as well along the way. But super excited to be here, and Honor, I think it's over to you.
Thanks, Jürgen. Thanks, Ricard. And I will continue sharing my screen, and we will be going through some detailing on the SDGs. Ricard will be, taking charge on that, and he's a pretty expert on that, and he will be elaborating the subject on that. And I will try to summarize BOOST and our experience so far and our new challenge shortly. And I will pass the ball to Jürgen afterwards throughout this presentation. So I'm moving forward.
Yeah, so let's get started on the SDGs. And I just wanted to say, super excited to be speaking to you, all innovators and change makers that are taking part of this hackathon, because we really need you. And I say this sincerely, the UN needs you. We need innovators, we need change makers, we need people with bold ideas from all sectors of society. Honor, if you can bring up the first slide of a few icons that I hope most of you that are tuning in are familiar with. It's the icons of the Sustainable Development Goals. There's 17. We call them the Sustainable Development Goals, or the Global Goals, or the Agenda for Sustainable Development. And this agenda it was adopted by the UN member states, all UN member states back in 2015, and it's a shared global blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. And we can actually say that this is a shared agenda because it is universal, and it came about through arguably the most massive consultative process ever taken place. It's a co-creation process on steroids, almost like this hackathon, where we all agreed on 17 goals, the Sustainable Development Goals. And by 2020, we were actually quite on track to reach these goals, at least on 6 of them. And I think we've sent a few links into the chat and on Slack, and one of them is to a video of Ola Rosling, president and co-founder of Gapminder. I think you should take a look at it. Gapminder, it's a non-profit organization fighting global misconception, and he's explaining how far we have come, or how far we had come. And the other link, there's a link to a dashboard where you can see how well your country is on this agenda, and how well on track it is. But then COVID happened, and we had, you can go to the next slide, Honor, we had a pandemic, a climate emergency, political polarization, growing inequalities, continued conflicts, forced displacement, and a traditional social contract that is no longer working for many. And let's not even talk about 2022. But in 2020, the number of people living in poverty rose for the first time since 1998 by an estimated 120 million. And on this slide, you see a simulation of the number of people living in poverty under different scenarios, and if we don't do a decisive push for the SDGs. And we have shared also a link to the UNDP's Data Futures platform, which includes raw data sets and simulators that you can use yourself, including on the socioeconomic impact of the pandemic. But so one of the things that did not stop during the pandemic was innovation. And I think rather COVID, while bringing us a lot of challenges, it also brought us a lot of opportunities. And we saw emerging needs, we saw new ways of interaction, shifting priorities, and a very volatile setting. And this setting is almost the perfect setting for when it comes to opportunities for innovation and development. And so we've been living in the last 2 years in a context that has forced us to adapt and to learn how to better deal with uncertainty. You can go to the next slide, Honor. And so at UNDP, we recognize that the development challenges that we're facing today, they are dynamic, they are complex, and they require systemic solutions. And they require us to do development differently. And this is where you come in, and this is where we need your help. And also why we hear from here at UNDP in Istanbul, but also from many other places in the world. UNDP is on the ground in 170 countries and territories. We partner up and we launch innovation challenges. And so we define a development challenge. We ask you, we source innovations, or we ask for any innovations out there. And I'm gonna say, so innovate. We do work with innovations, and we don't call them solutions because we don't believe there's no single point solutions to these challenges, because they're very, very complex. And Early is one of the winners of one of these challenges that UNDP had launched. And then we work with you. We take you through a journey, amplifying what you're doing, bridging you with tools and resources, and connecting you with other innovators across the region. So it's about building capabilities, it's about building partnerships, nurturing partnerships, and for you to reimagine your innovation. And then we help you make sense of the world around you, for you to understand where you're working, what are the different assets and capabilities, or the leverage points in the system, and how you can align your business model with your impact goals. So that is basically the way we do these challenges. BOOST is one of them. If you can go to the next slide, Honor, I think I'll hand it over to you now to give us a little bit of an intro to BOOST. But just to say, follow us on BOOST, either on our LinkedIn, UNDP Eurasia, or check out boostImpact.org for new challenges that we launched on this platform. But back to you, Honor, for a little bit more on what BOOST has been doing in the last years.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you for the whole introduction and whole funneling of your experience on that. Really appreciate it. So I would like to go through the what we intend and what we are doing with BOOST Impact Accelerator. As Rick summarized, we have been focusing on innovation challenges, focusing on and converging with the development topics. As a result of this, especially during 2020, the year, that dark year, I would say, we with the contribution of Polish Ministry of Finance, Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Slovak Ministry of Finance, and Koç Holding from Turkey, we have launched 3 challenges under BOOST Impact Accelerator, which was focusing on topics of strategic innovation and system thinking, inclusive digitalization, and development finance. The idea is to go through these topics, the development topics, and create a digital platform that we can provide support for the organizations focusing on similar topics, similar issue areas, and similar thematic issue areas. So on that note, BOOST is a digital accelerator we have launched, and this accelerator hosts organizations and provide technical and professional support for them to elevate their solutions, elevate their innovations, and lead these innovations into tangible and applicable and implementable examples. So on that note, starting with 2020, we have launched three different challenges. One was supported by the Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as I said, and one by the Slovak Ministry of Finance, and one by Koç Holding. So on that note, these 3 challenges hosted different organizations from different sectors, like civil society organizations, NGOs, academia, startups, SMEs, and we tried to make it diverse as possible, that we can reach out to different sectors and different need areas that we can address. So in figures, we have worked with the organizations from countries from there's 20 countries from Europe and Central Asia, and we have received over 400 applications, and from out of these 400 applications, 92 innovations were selected. But the idea was to support these innovations from different aspects, like from finance to, as you can see on the slide, like over 450,000 US dollars equity-free capitals in grants, and which was supported by professionals from K-Works from Turkey, Startup Grind, which is one of the leading startup organizations all over the world, and also Impact Aim from UNDP Armenia, and also from resources from our end as UNDP Europe and Central Asia. So over 100 hours, we have given mentorship sessions, training sessions, and support, technical support and professional support for these organizations to elevate their ideas. And at the end of this, throughout this intense accelerator, we have seen a huge progress of these organizations, and out of this whole technical support and whole accelerator run, the organizations had the chance to elevate and develop their ideas and their innovations and lead them to applicable and implementable stages. So on that note, I would like to also recall the whole experience as an important thing, because at this point it's really important to support and provide support and provide insights from the field, and also insights from the SDGs and insights from the whole area that UNDP is focusing as development issue areas. So until so far, we have launched this. This year, we have launched 2 different challenges with the support of Slovak Minister of Finance and Koch Holding once again. And now these 2 challenges are going on simultaneously nowadays. So I would like to pass the ball to Jürgen as one of the best practices from the previous boost rounds, as global head of growth on Airly. So I would like to pass the ball to you, Jürgen, to give more insights and elaborate view of what Airly is doing and what you have been doing so far. So over to you, Jürgen.
Brilliant, thank you. And it's been so encouraging to see the support that's available for startups like ourselves. And so at Airly, our mission is to repair the air, and effectively we do that with our own proprietary sensors and over 30,000 data points across the globe to give people a true source of information regarding the air they breathe. Now, one of the things that I always ask myself is, what gets me up in the morning? And if I look just at the stats that Ricard just shared just now, the situation across the globe is something that, should get us up in the morning, regardless, how you feel every day. We should be on a mission to support. And as Ricard said, we are a smaller innovation as part of hopefully a wider solution. And, one of the things that we looked at is, okay, the air that we breathe, how important is it? And Honor, if you can go to the next slide, if that's okay. We really look at air. And if I ask any of you who's attending today to drink a cup of contaminated water, you politely decline, or you say I'm nuts. But if we look at the fact that over 91% of people actually are breathing air that's harmful to them, that's a real stat to think about. And if we go to the next slide, one of the areas where I'm particularly shocked by and still to see is the fact that 12% of all premature deaths in the world are actually directly related to bad air. And that's a shocking stat, and that's something that really motivates us as an organization, but also me personally, to really push hard and really get people to understand what air they're breathing and how we can help them. And if you go to the next slide, what we'll see is that there's actually a bit of a tipping point. And so there is, on one side, there is the push from individuals and consumers and people around the world to push their governments, their local constituencies, businesses to start taking action. And, when we talk about impact, one of the ones that we were directly involved with was the city of Jakarta. And the city of Jakarta has approximately quite a dense network of our sensors. And we informed through our open source app the citizens of Jakarta about the air they can breathe. And it's particularly bad in Jakarta, and they actually sued the actual city to take more action, and they won that battle. And that's such a rewarding way of seeing the small impact that we've had on a particular city, and particularly to take that forward. Now, the trick with air pollution is to understand it. And that's where the magic sauce comes in. And that's where we've been so grateful to UNDP and to the Polish Challenge Fund to support us in that. Because reading air pollution, calibrating it, putting it all together and understanding it is something that's not easy. And that's the part, the educational part, that for us is also really important. And so on, if you think these are the reasons why we wake up each morning, this is one of them. Now, air pollution is something that you will find and get access to anywhere in the world. It's available, it's there. But what's truly missing right now is the hyperlocality. What's happening in my street, or what's happening in my village? And that's something that we're missing. And therefore, without that hyperlocality, it becomes increasingly more difficult to actually take targeted action. And therefore, Airly is founded. We provide that hyperlocal information that gives people a true opportunity to take action and actually have an impact on the environment. And therefore, we at Airly are super proud to be doing this, but also have been able to convert many cities and solutions, over 600 cities now that are using our end-to-end solution. So not only the hardware, but the platform, our map, our software tools, and I think particularly in the Eurasia, let's say, region, where most of their people still, up till today, heat their houses with fossil fuels. And so in our own back garden in Krakow, where we have our headquarters, we supported the city there with transferring or converting people and supporting them with stop using fossil fuels to heat their house, and actually just use ordinary gas heatings. And actually the city of Krakow itself has now was the worst city when it comes to bad air, together with Sarajevo in the region. And now Krakow is no longer even featuring, I think, in the top 30 anymore in terms of air pollution, which is a great achievement in itself. And again, that's the impact that we're hoping to have on many more cities and many more individuals and businesses across the world. So that's a short introduction to Airly. Back to you, Honor. Is that okay?
Yes, all good. Thank you, Jürgen.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. I would like to, check the comments if you have any questions addressing, what we have been discussing so far. I would like to also, actually, I see that, we already have one.
Yeah, there's one question about the program, I guess, in what countries or territories we're working in. So the BOOST program is but it's when we launched the challenges under the BOOST program. Since we're doing it from a regional bureau or a regional office, we're only focusing on Europe and Central Asia, but there are a lot of innovation challenges organized by UNDP. So I suggest, if you're working in any other countries, that you get in touch with us, and then we can direct you to other opportunities, to other calls that are out there and then that are coming up. So please reach out on LinkedIn, follow us on social media, or just connect with us, and we'll guide you to more resources.
Brilliant. And Honor, you when we were chatting this week, and Rick, we were talking about what are the things when I'm an impact business, what are the things that I learned, and something that I wanted to give the audience as well is energy and passion are really contagious. And when you are an impact business, what you'll find is that not everyone's with you as yet. Yeah, and not everyone shares the same passion. But one of the things that we've learned is that facts, figures, data really helps you. And particularly in the startup mode, what's really important is every client that you work with, please try and build up a case study and build that library of facts and figures all together, because your passion, your enthusiasm, your beliefs are super excited. But what also is really important that we ensure that you backed it up with a good data points, good facts, in order to really drive your commercials forward, and therefore have a much bigger sustainable social impact on your beliefs and your mission. So I thought I'll just share that with you because I thought it was such an interesting discussion we had.
No, absolutely, and it's, I think also, I mean, both, you have both that, and you have the mindset and the openness of innovators to think. You know, you start with an innovation when you go. So the organizations that we take through these programs, they usually start with innovation. They work on it for a few months. They get inspired by it. They connect with other innovators in the region. They are introduced to different tools and resources. And in the end, when they kind of pitch the innovation again, it's very, very different from where they started. And we had a great, so yesterday we were starting one of these programs with 50 women-led organizations from across the region. And we're taking them through a journey for them to understand where they are at the moment, what assets and capabilities do they have to leverage right now, where do they want to go, what kind of impact do they want to achieve, and then we help them make a plan to how do they get there. And we do that by applying tools from systems thinking. We help them make sense of the world around them, then make sense of the systems in which they interact. I think one of the, so yesterday when we started, we got a feedback after, so we had one of the first sessions yesterday on impact, and we received an email from one of the innovating organizations, two women innovators from Albania. They're working on a product that is it's creating some company-specific time series of ESG risk scores and ratings. And so they already got selected to the program because they have a very interesting innovation. But they both said to us after the call yesterday that we are conscious, and I quote, "We are conscious that we're going to change or adopt our startup company and hopefully improve it a lot. And we are really open to it." And I think this is the mindset that's so crucial to work in innovation. And with the organizations that we take to these programs, that is the mindset that we're looking for, because you will have to reimagine, you will have to rethink and listen to what is happening and see what's emerging and adapt. And if there's something that we've learned over the last 2 years working in a pandemic, is that we need to adapt and we need to manage uncertainty and risks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ricard, connectivity is key here, right? So, you mentioned around we have small innovations to a much wider solution, but ultimately the connectivity of the solutions, of the innovations, brings a much better global solution. And if there's anything I can take away, what I've learned at Airly is not be single-minded about just air pollution. It's actually looking at many, many different environmentally impactful innovations and connect and see whether we can pull together a better view of the world, much more impactful. And again, without proof points, it's sometimes really difficult to drive behavioral change. And so, by enabling to do it, behavioral change is going to be key for each individual, for each business, for each government. And I think it's time to wrap up. So I'll pass over to you, Honor.
Thanks, Jürgen. Thanks, Ricard, for this good discussion, for this valuable discussion. I hope that the participants and the viewers also enjoyed it well. So I would like to wrap it up today, and thank you to Hack the Normal team actually for hosting us here. Thanks to Beko for inviting us here. And as my colleagues here highlighted that please keep an eye on Boost. We will be going forward, so you can reach out to us over boostImpact.org. And I mean, we are over here and waiting for your innovations and everything. So I would like to pass the ball to Sebastian and would like to thank to him as well. So over to you, Sebastian. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Honor, and thanks to all of your panelists for this super exciting discussion. I think we learned a lot and could really see your passion coming through in this session, which is fantastic. Now it's time for us to move to working in groups and in teams. So for the next 2 hours, we'll be working with your teams, with your coaches and expert mentors on actually building your solutions. We'll have a short break after that. And then we'll meet back here on the inspiration stage at 12:15 UK time for a panel around water management. So just make sure that you can come back here on the inspiration stage at 12:15. If you've got any questions for coaches and mentors, please do use them. This is what the next 2 hours are for. And then I will see you back here at 12:15. Have a great morning.